The civil war in Syria has dragged on for 3 years, and the conflict continues to affect not only Syria, but other countries in the region. The UN says there are now 1 million Syrian refugees in Lebanon, putting a massive strain on an already stretched country. It's described the situation as a devastating milestone. The total number of registered Syrian refugees is now more than 2.5 million. More than 660,000 have crossed Syria's northern border into Turkey. More than 220,000 have fled east to Iraq. In Jordan, there are well over 500,000 Syrians who've been forced from their homes. And in Egypt, over 135,000 people have been received. Now, a number of international agencies are trying to improve the situation. One of those is the Norwegian Refugee Council. Let's bring in its Secretary General, Jan Egeland, who joins us via Skype from Oslo. Mr. Egeland, thank you very much for speaking to us. A staggering figure for Lebanon, 1 million Syrian refugees. I know that the Norwegian Council is also due to come out with a report today on the situation. Just how desperate is it today?
It is beyond belief. I don't think we are, as general public, as decision makers, as politicians, and even the media, understanding the scope and breadth and magnitude of this crisis. This is not just another war. This is a generational challenge. And at the moment, we're not up to meeting the challenge.
When we talk about the numbers, 1 million Syrian refugees in Lebanon, it's just in Lebanon alone. But these are the refugees who register, who actually go to register. Many of them, I understand, are afraid to register because they fear reprisal attacks back home in Syria. So could it be more than 1 million just in Lebanon?
It is many more than the 1 million. It could be easily 500,000 more Syrians who have fled the war. One of the problems in Lebanon, and we're issuing a report on that today because we have the biggest legal aid program among relief organizations in the country. The report says that hundreds of thousands are now struggling with the legal stay documentation, with registration. They have to pay money to get registered. They don't have the money, and therefore they lose the registration. The states some have to go back to Syria to try to renew their status either there or as they re-enter Lebanon. It shouldn't be like that.
And what has been, Mr. Egeland, the impact on the host countries, on Lebanon, on Syria, on Turkey? What's been the relationship between the refugees who arrive and, the host countries, the people in the host countries?
Well, the host countries and the host communities have been more generous than we, the Europeans or the Americans or the Asians, can understand, really. Lebanon takes 1,000 to 2,000 refugees per day. My own country, Norway, would take 1,000 Syrians in a year. So Lebanon is extremely generous, but Lebanon is kneeling under this pressure. Lebanon needs much more help from the international community.
Why has the support from the international community not been coming to deal with this refugee crisis, Mr. Egeland?
Well, there is a lot of aid coming, of course, but it's not enough. Listen, the Syrian refugee crisis, the Syrian displacement crisis, and more than anything, the phenomenal problems inside Syria is many times bigger than the second largest emergency humanitarian crisis in the world. And I think we still treat it as if it was one or the other. It is much bigger. So even though, my organization alone has 1,000 full-time relief workers in and around Syria. There are many, many thousands doing this. There are billions of dollars having been spent so far, and we're not even close to reaching the levels we should.
A very dire situation. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Jan Egeland, Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, via Skype from Oslo there. Thank you.